This is Dave Coldwell. We are weighing in.
Yes, weighing in with Dave Coldwell. Dave, your fighter Paige Murney fought in her hometown of Leicester. How special was that?
Oh, it was massively special for her because obviously, it's a big thing, and it's not like it's in a little venue that's hardly got any people there. It's packed out. It's a great venue. Production's been brilliant. So it's got a big fight sort of feel to it. So she's been out quite a while. And to come back in her hometown and against a legit, real opponent as well, and put on a performance like that, she's done really well, and I'm over the moon for her.
What did you make of her performance?
I thought she boxed really well. Only a second fight, like as I said, out for a while. I think she tried a little bit too hard, but she settled into it much as each round went on. She settled into it, started adding more to her game. But you got to remember, this girl's been in with Eva Wallström. She's fought world champions, been at that top level. Got a winning record, 14 wins, 9 losses, I think it was. This is Paige's second fight. Essentially a debut again because it's over a year since her.
That's what I thought originally.
Yeah. So it's a big statement, And the thing about Paige, I think what people are going to love, obviously people that know her, know about her, but the people, the audiences that haven't seen her yet, what they're going to love about it is that she don't go in there for looking for points wins. She goes in there to beat people up and to look for a stoppage, and she's disappointed tonight because she's not stopped a world champion level experienced fighter in her second fight, and she's actually really disappointed about it. But that's her mentality. She wants to go in there and destroy these opponents, but that will do a world of good because she needs the experience for when she gets up there, and as we know in the women's game, you don't have a load of fights before you get let off at least to be fighting, for titles.
Dave, you just mentioned the women's boxing, it's absolutely taken off, it's bigger than it's ever been. How exciting is it for you to have a fighter within that now?
Yeah, I've got Amy Timlin as well. She boxed for a European title, but she's very, very young. Paige is a little bit more seasoned, a little bit more, a lot more experience in the pro game, in the amateur game. But the scene now, it's like you say, it's flying. There's so many different fighters now that are coming. The prospects are getting better and better each year. It's just good. Yeah, it's good to be in that mix as well. But it's nice to have somebody that's easy to work with and talented like Paige is.
I saw you earlier at ringside with your other charge, Muhammad Ali. He started his career signing with Matchroom. How much has he developed since his debut in the gym?
Yeah, he's developing all the time. He's in learning, sparring with the likes of Hopi, Jordan. Does loads of rounds with Jordan. Does loads of rounds with Stephen Cairns. So he's getting some good sparring in there. So he's developing really well. He's only young. He's a baby. So I'm not getting on the hype train. The name says enough. That's going to attract enough hype as it is. But he's a very, very good prospect. He's great to work with. He's got a good attitude in the gym. Future's bright for him, definitely. But I can't say too much because then Eddie will want to push him, and I'm always in a constant battle with Eddie with my prospects for that.
Yeah, we all know what Eddie's like. Dave, coming away from your boxes, last week we saw the so-called second debut 2.0 of Ben Whittaker. People have said he's got style but no substance. Someone criticised his Prince Naz like entrance as well. What did you make of everything?
Listen, that's what he is. As long as he's comfortable with the showman side, when people are talking about putting on an act or whatever, as long as he's comfortable with that and that's him, then fair dues, that's his career, and it's working because he's getting people like you asking me questions about him. Exactly. People are talking about him. So I get it. I get all that. All the outside of the ring stuff, I don't mind that. He was paying a tribute to Naz because he'd watched Naz and he wanted to do a tribute to him. Fair enough. That's what he wants to do. Fair enough. The only issue that I had was the level of Ben Whittaker is seen as an elite level prospect. That's how they're marketing him, how he's being built up to be. But then the level of the opponent was right down, novice level. So when you're doing the mocking and mimicry and things like that of people during the fight, that's something that you don't quite need to be doing. But I get that's his personality. If that's his personality, that's how it is. Boxing needs to have personalities, whether you like them or not. You need to have personalities. If somebody's just dead quiet and has no showbiz about them and everything, people say they're boring and don't care about them, and they earn peanuts and don't get opportunities because nobody's interested in them. If somebody's out there and puts themselves there to be shot down, if he's got the balls to put himself in a position to be shot down, then fair play to him. Is it everyone's cup of tea? No. Was it my cup of tea? Like I said, outside the ring, I ain't got a problem with it. Inside the ring, with that opponent, I just feel if you do that with Bivol, Biev, Callum Smith, all them sort of guys, you know, even like your Dan Aziz and your Watson, if you're doing it at that level, then fair play, then you've earned your stripes.
Dave, you're a big fan of Dan Aziz. How do you think they would? How do you think that fight would go? Ben Whittaker, Dan Aziz.
Right now,
I'd
have to go with Dan Aziz because he might not have all the flash and razzmatazz of Ben Whittaker right now, but he's got the pro experience, the solid experience, you know. Dan Aziz, we've said before, is a little bit of a throwback fighter, but he's not a plodder. He's not really a plodder. Don't get me wrong, I'm not saying he's the world's best yet, but he's a good, solid fighter. When I say throwback, you used to have good level European champions and European fighters that were good. Some you'd never heard of. You know, they've come from Italy, they've come from wherever. They're good, solid European level fighters. Dan Aziz, right now in this moment for me, he's like that throwback European level fighter. But that old European level fighter is now these days is like would be a world level fighter. So he's not too far off.
Dave, I've just bumped into Big Fraser Clarke, one of two who is talk of the British boxing scene. We saw the cancelling of the purse bid for his fight against Fabiowardley for the British heavyweight title on Wednesday. What were your thoughts on that?
Disappointed. I thought I would look at it like everybody else, really. You know, every once in a while they become, you know, there's a heavyweight, a domestic heavyweight showdown that you look forward to. You know, a couple of punches. Like I think the most recent one was Joyce and Dubois, wasn't it? So this is kind of like another one where you think, oh, this is going to be exciting. Fraser's experience from the amateurs, and Wardley, you know, doing what he's been doing in the pro, blowing people away in the pros. But it's not black and white who wins. So you want to see it, and it's like, okay. And this talk about, oh, is it too early? Is it too early? Listen, if you know the loser gets beaten out, they can come back again. It's at that stage of their careers. So yeah, I was disappointed, to be honest.
Have you ever seen that before? A fighter get sort of pulled out of a fight, especially a British title fight?
Yeah, but probably not as high profile. Where you know, obviously everybody was talking. The thing that hit us, I think, most with the shock was because everyone was talking it up. There was interviews being done at the shows before where, you know, everyone was talking about, you know, they're all wanting it. It's going to go to purse bids, this, and you know, that's why everyone were excited about the purse bid.
It was, wasn't it? Everyone was
excited about the purse bid. But yeah, I think that's why it was a little bit out of the blue, because everyone seemed to be on the same page that they wanted the fight.
Since then, Fabiowardley's come out and said the book lies with Fraser Clarke. He should have done more to make the fight happen. Is that a fair comment for you?
It's not quite as simple as that, because you can turn around and say to a promoter, okay, so the promoter is the one that controls the purse bid strings. So you could want to fight. That's like saying, I want to fight in 8 weeks. But your promoter turns around and says, well, no, I ain't got a date for you. I'm going to box in 3 months. Well, you're the boxer. And no, it doesn't always work that way. So I think that's a little bit harsh. I understand Fabio's pissed and so he's going to, you know, be throwing darts at everywhere. But I think that's a little bit harsh on Fraser, because at the end of the day, Boxer, Sky, they're the ones that pay. So you can say, I want that fight, go make that fight happen, but ultimately, if they're not going to bid for it, you can't make them bid for it, you can't make them spend the money. The thing about the pulling out, actually pulling out the purse bids, pulling out of the fight, full stop, you know, it's one thing not bidding, that's different to actually withdrawing from the purse bids. that's between Fraser and his management, really, because his management would have, they will advise him. Now, whether that means, well, if we do that, then we're going to be falling out with a promoter, we're contracting for X amount of time, it could cause a lot of friction, blah blah blah. Maybe there's another option there from. That's where, when you're on the outside looking in, you don't know the details, so it's a little bit more difficult.
Dave, at the end of this month, we see Laura Wood 2. You were there at ringside for the first one. How much of a chance do you give Lee in a rematch?
I think if he doesn't switch off and he follows the plan and listens and stays focused 100%, then I give him a great chance. The thing is, Laura is dynamite. I would imagine that Laura will be a better version this time around, because I think maybe he was a little bit more, not reserved, but he was a little bit more thoughtful in that fight than what I've seen before. And I actually think that gave Lee the time to get the range, get the boxing off, and not make it easy for Lee, but the fight to be played on Lee's terms a little bit longer and a little bit more than what I expected. I expect Lara to look to close range down and get to work quicker this time, but I still think that Lee can nullify that and do enough damage himself, because it was hurting Lara. But it's a good fight, mate. It is a good fight, and again, the same result could happen, but it is a really good fight. Absolutely. Dave, we'll leave it there. Thank you for your time as always, and I'll probably see you at Fight Night on May the 27th. Thank you for weighing in. No problem, mate. Nice one.